let's get into your performance of Judas and the Black Messiah, because I look at, like I said in my opening, I remember you sitting at Carmen's at the table talking about this audition, and then we fast forward all the way through you shooting it, and then it's out. There's all these Oscar nominations. Daniel wins. It's just, and the cast is incredible, and your scene is you knocked it out of the park. Talk to me about being a part of this incredible cast, and talk to me about your journey with Judas and the Black Messiah, because everybody's falling in love with you. I mean, I've been new, so I'm not, so they just catching up. But how are you feeling getting all this love and all this accolades? I mean, gosh, I just feel like your hustle's paying off.
Yeah, I still don't feel like I'm there yet. Like I'm still working through it. And it's been really interesting because some of it has been hard to take, the accolades or the compliments. Like you're okay after the first one, but then after people keep going, you be like, okay. Like, so it's all new. It's like another level that I've reached. And the thing is too, is how I did that on purpose. Because I've been if you see my career, most of it has been comedy.
Yeah.
I've always had this muscle, but wasn't able to show it. So I did this character that was really, really, really dark for this short film that I did with the Black TV and Film Collective. And so I invited my representation at the time to a screening of this, and she was like, oh my God, I had no idea. And I was like, yeah, I can do that. So my next audition was Judas.
Wow. Look at you you created your own lane again.
Yeah, I had to, because I needed something to change.
Yeah.
And this changed my life. And it's so interesting because I don't think they saw me coming.
Listen, like I said, they weren't ready, because I've been new.
They weren't ready.
Right.
They really, honestly, they weren't ready, because I think they had this little scene. And then I had to realize what it was too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because the cast is so full, you know, like I'm number 9 or 10 on the list, Yeah. But they really had this little scene that they needed to go from point A to point B. And then I came, and they were like, oh shit, So they weren't expecting me at all. And I remember Charles King and Ryan Coogler, they stayed for my whole shoot. And they were like, who are you? Where did you come from? Like, oh my God. And at one point we were shooting, and I looked up and the cameraman was crying. And I was like, okay, we're in the zone. But it was tense. The air was so thick during that scene. It was like every cut was like an exhale.
Wow.
Because you could feel I really felt the whole, and after the first take, Daniel was in a whole nother room. He brought his little director's chair in there with me. He did not leave my side the whole time.
That cracks me up because Daniel was like deer in headlights, right? He was like, what? Where did you come from?
Yeah, he did. And he was like, you look like my people. We were talking about our eyes, how expressive our eyes are. He was like, you look like my people, we just had a love fest. It was like a mutual appreciation of each other's gifts, because that man didn't have but 2 lines. But when I tell you he was ever present with me the whole time, it was like a beautiful dance.
I love it.
And it was amazing. Like, he rode with me all the way through it. He really, really did. And Shaka, our general, was just, he was fluid. You know what I mean? Like, when we started, I went around, because first I didn't really know if Jake was a real person or if he was, fictional.
Yeah.
Or what I didn't know. Because there's not very much written about them, because the government has destroyed a lot of the things about the Black Panther Party. And so I found this one article, and it told me all about him. Wow. So I went around to everybody before I started shooting. I said, can I tell you about my son?
Ooh, girl.
Yeah, and that set a tone.
He was
and
ready.
Then I told Shaka, I said, Shaka, can can I ask you something? He said, yeah. I said, I'm not feeling right about this ending. Because I feel like she would beg him, like implore him not to forget her son's name. Would that be okay if I did that? And he was like, yeah, let's try it. Let's try it. So we did it the way I wanted to do it. And then we did it the way it was written. And I guess they picked, what I was feeling.
I mean, are you going to get a writer's credit? Like, what, did you get nominated for the writer's part? What's going on?